Beautiful butter cookies that are better than store-bought. I think you will love this, especially for how buttery, crunchy they are. I grew up with butter cookies and I really love them because they go so well with coffee and tea and they are a staple in my household. You can also vary the different flavors, be it chocolate, pandan. Just let your creativity run loose and see how you want to make the butter cookies that you like. I'll be taking my icing sugar. It will be best that you sift it so that there won't be clumps of sugar at the end. Now that my icing sugar has been sifted into the butter, I'm going to cream it together at low speed. You can also do this at home with a handheld whisk, no problem. Sometimes the icing sugar might come to the side, so just grab a spoon and scoop it down. So this took about 2 minutes. What you want to keep a lookout for is something that is lighter in yellow as compared to your butter. So this has shown that air has been successfully incorporated and it will be lighter and crispier. If you can consider using good quality vanilla extract, especially since we are using very little ingredients today. But if not, normal vanilla essence will work just as well. This is going to be the fun part. This is where you can decide what flavor you want your cookie to be. Here I'm going to portion my batter, one for chocolate and one for vanilla. So now I'm going to add in my all-purpose flour, and the same thing, you will want to sift it to make sure that there are no clumps in the finished product. And once you have your dough formed, you're all ready. So you can see that the consistency here reminds me of ice cream. So this is what you want to look out for to ensure that you are ready to work with the dough. If let's just say your dough is not stiff enough, make sure to refrigerate it for about 20 minutes so that it's easier to work with and pipe. Now on to the chocolate version. What I did here was to substitute some of the plain flour for cocoa powder. This is to give it that chocolate flavor. Once they are all sifted in, I'm going to add in my portion butter here by the side and place it all in. Since this is a much smaller portion, all I'm going to do is to use a spoon and to mix it all in. As you're mixing, what you want to do is to continuously press down to ensure that all of the butter and the cocoa powder are evenly mixed. You don't want patches of butter throughout the chocolate cookie or it'll be a little patchy. And here you can also see something similar forming, the ice cream consistency. So look at this right now, it looks just like a scoop of chocolate ice cream. So this could be thanks to the aircon condition I am in right now. This is so that it's easier to work with and to pipe with. This will be the piping tip that I'm using today. It's open star and it will give very nice sunflower looking cookies. What you want to do is to put in your piping tip here, all the way in. You really don't have to worry about the batter seeping through the piping tip because it's quite stiff. So you can just put the batter directly into your piping bag. I'm going to reserve some at the side as we are doing other cookie varieties as well. This is solely for the pipe cookies. And what you want to do next for these cookies is to add the jam centers. We can just go ahead using a pinky finger to just place a small hole at the center. And now we are going to fill the small holes with jam. You can pick it to your preferred choice. For example, strawberry, raspberry, blueberry, they all work well, no worries about that. Now I'm going to make the butter cookies with the cookie cutter. So here you can pick one with your preferred shape. I'm using this really cute toast shape. So this is for me to make my sugar toast cookie. So here I have my batter and I'm going to just place some flour on it. Cover with another piece of parchment paper. This is to reduce the amount of mess you have at home. Because without the parchment paper, it might stick all over the table and that requires a lot more cleaning. Give it a good press and use your rolling pin and roll it out. For a cleaner cut, what you want to do is to place your cookie cutter into the flour. So this will also ensure that it doesn't stick to the cookie cutter as you are doing the cut. Moving on to the next type of cookie, we're making the standard classic round cookies. So these are perfect if you do not have cookie cutters at home because all you need is a pair of hands and a weighing scale. So I'm portioning about 15 grams and you want to roll it between your hands. And once you are done forming a nice little ball of dough, you can press it down. And there you have it, this is your standard round butter cookies. And for the next cookie, we're going to make butter raisin. You can adjust this according to your preference. Other substitutes that you can consider will also be the classic good old chocolate chip. This is the rectangle cookie. Now I'm going to make chocolate cookies with a chocolate center in the sunflower shape. It's very similar to the first cookie that we have just done. You can really see the nice swirls and spirals. Now we are going to fill the chocolate cookies with our favorite chocolate spread. You want to transfer this to a piping bag so that it's easier for you to pipe into the center of these cookies. I'm now going to bake it at 160 degrees until it's golden brown, about 13 to 15 minutes. Do gauge accordingly depending on how your cookies look. I'm now going to do some finishing touches. Simply take some sugar and while it's warm, sprinkle all over so that it can melt into the toast cookie. And one more finishing touch that I'm going to make is also to top up some of the jam. As you can see, the jam has kind of dried up a little throughout the baking process. No worries, you can just add just a little bit more to top it up. If you enjoyed this recipe, let me know what are some of the other old school recipes you would like to see next. Comment down below. Enjoy!